What's going on, homies? My name is John Solo, and as you can probably tell with the abnormal background, the bright light, the horrible lighting in the corner, and the crappy webcam, and my casual demeanor where I'm like, just sitting and chilling. This is not your normal video. This is not a typical video on this channel. This is just another update video, another installment into my Let's Talk series, my update series, where I let you guys know everything that's going on with the channel and my life and anything else that I feel like you should all know about. I actually have kind of a long list of things that I want to get into today, and I'm going to try to do it as quick as possible because, as I say in just about every other unscripted video that I do, I tend to ramble like really bad. So we're going to try to fly right through it. My first point, though, is by far the longest, and once I get started, you'll understand why. First thing that I want to discuss with you guys is I want to apologize. I want to apologize for having one of the worst, least consistent uploading schedules probably on all of YouTube in terms of people that are relative to my size and bigger. At the beginning of the summer, I told you guys, I've got my own space now. I got my own office. I got no responsibilities. YouTube is my only job. I'm just going to be making videos constantly, 4 or 5 days a week. I'm going to be living in a dark room, just me and my computer and Wikipedia and Pixar Wikipedia, and I'm going to make all kinds of videos for you. And I said it and I meant it at the time, but that was a stupid thing to say because these videos, these theory videos, when you got competition and you want to do them right, they take a long fucking time. Like, I'm not kidding. This may not seem long in comparison to other people who are like higher up in production. Each video takes about 24 hours to make. The researching and the proofing and the going through and reading the theory multiple times to find any loophole that you can find that some douchebag is going to comment about in the comments, you got to find a way to cover it. It gets pretty extensive. I don't want to complain, and I hope I don't sound like I'm complaining. I'm trying to explain why that was a stupid thing for me to say, that I'm going to be making 4 videos a week, because I could make 4 videos a week. I could make 4 theories a week if I really wanted to, but they'd all be dog shit. Maybe I'm a little like hypercritical of the editing. Like, I know one thing I'm like really, not to trigger all of you Tumblrinas who are like, PC culture. I'm kind of OCD when it comes to like editing and making sure every single millisecond is correct. It makes the process a little bit longer than it has to be, and I'm trying to work on that. You got to be meticulous because you want to deliver to your fans. And I want to apologize that in the process of trying to deliver to you, I have done exactly the opposite. Some other reasons that my uploading schedule has been gosh darn terrible is because, one, believe it or not, I don't know how, but there has been something popping up almost every single week that has offset the uploading schedule. It's stuff like, I gotta go home, which is over an hour away, to pick up prescription medication that I take, which I'm not going to get into because it's not that big of a deal. Then I got to go and fill it out. And that takes an hour because the pharmacy blows butts. Like, I can't even have my prescription called in because they're like, this is a controlled substance. Sorry, we're not going to call it into the pharmacy. Oh, well. And I'm like, fuck off, yo. Like, I live an hour away. You really can't do me a solid? You really can't? Stuff like that. Like I said, at the beginning of summer, I had the summer class. I've gotten sick a couple of times this summer. A couple of weeks ago, I actually had my grandfather's memorial, and we were seeing family that we hadn't seen for, I think, about 6 years coming in. And I know that you guys are going to comment saying, dude, we understand that. Like, it's your grandpa's memorial. Your grandpa passed away. We're not going to hold that against you. But in the YouTube business and in the entertainment industry in general, I don't make a video for a week and the next week it just, for whatever reason, doesn't pop up in someone's sub box. People forget you exist. They unsubscribe. It's anxiety inducing. It's stressful. It's weird because taking a week off is a hit or miss, whether it's going to go okay or go shitty. Take 2 weeks off and you're screwed for like the next couple of weeks. Unless you're a massive channel where people don't forget about you. Like, you have a really dedicated fan base and community. So that was another thing. And then for a third example, and it's something I want to talk about anyway, it was kind of spontaneous, but I ended up getting eye surgery last week. If you follow me on my social medias, you may have seen my updates. Probably not, because Mark Zuckerberg is a giant bag of dicks and he makes you pay if you want all of the people who have gone out of their way to like your page. Because they're interested in your stuff, makes you pay so it actually shows up on their news feed. You may have seen that I got not laser eye surgery, but I got eye surgery a couple of weeks, or not a couple weeks, a couple days ago, actually. And I got something called PRK. The difference between that and LASIK, actually going back a full year, I got something called ICL. And ICL is implantable contact lens, something along those lines. My vision was too bad for LASIK. It was awful. This eye was -10 prescribed, and this eye was -11. And then in addition to that, I had an astigmatism. So I couldn't get LASIK. I got ICL. That fixed the vision pretty much perfectly, but it didn't fix the astigmatism. They might have made improvements to it at the time. If anybody has questions about it, feel free to ask. That was the thing. And then it was sort of spontaneous. I got something called PRK on Friday, which isn't LASIK. The difference between PRK and LASIK is with LASIK, I don't know the exact process, but they have to make an incision in your eye. And the problem with that, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying this right, I don't want to say it wrong, the amount of time that flap takes to heal differs from person to person. They told me about one guy who got LASIK 10 years later, got in a car accident, and his flap hadn't healed. He hit his head in the car accident, and his flap ripped open. So they were like, we don't want to do LASIK for you. So they did something called PRK, which I was totally on board with. It's actually way better than LASIK because they don't do stuff like that. They actually just take a laser and they shape your eye. They shape your cornea, I believe it is. The trade-off for getting that instead of LASIK is that there's a slower recovery time. It takes a couple of days. Actually, it takes a little bit longer. It takes a couple of days, about a week to heal from it. Your vision gets worse before it gets better because of the way the cells heal. It goes from outside to inside. Saturday, I was okay. On Sunday, I was like, can't really see all that well. And then by last night, I was literally like blind in both eyes. It was pretty horrible. So that kind of stopped me from working this weekend and the couple of days prior to it because I also had to get some evaluations done and prep for the surgery. Now I can see a little bit better, not great by any means. So editing this is going to be a total pain in the dong. That was kind of the issue with this week. Big point with all of this is there's just been stupid stuff popping up, keeping me from uploading, and I really want to apologize for that. And I honestly think that when school starts up, you might not think this at first. With school, if those of you who are around would probably remember, my uploading schedule was a lot more consistent, and that was because I had a little hypothetical gun back to the back of my head, metaphorical gun, where there was that threat of if I don't do my homework and I don't go to class, I'll fail, and I don't want that. And if I don't upload and make videos, I will lose my job and I'll have to, do a 9-to-5 horrible business job like you maybe saw in Office Space. I don't want to end up like that guy. I was just always in work mode constantly. With the summer, I've been in a little bit more relaxed mode, which is where kind of the procrastination comes in. I think with school starting, I'll be on a stricter schedule and I'll be able to crank out videos a little bit more. Not like more than 2 a week, but at least 2. I'm sure. Moving on to the next point, because that actually took a little bit longer than expected, I want to talk really quick about a big thing that's going to be happening. I am going to be making a second YouTube channel. I asked in my AMA from a couple of weeks ago, would you guys watch it? Would you come by and at least check out the content? And a buttload of you said yes, I absolutely would. And you guys were so affirmative in your response, outside of this one guy who was like, don't make a second channel, because this second channel I kind of want to focus on like comedy a little bit, in addition to daily vlogging and some other miscellaneous stuff that just doesn't really fit on this channel. This kid's like, don't make a second channel because, dude, you are just not funny. I'm sorry to say, love the rest of your stuff, but you are the least funny person maybe on the planet. Like, putting a bullet in your head would be a better idea than making this second channel. This kid leaves a long paragraph and everyone's like, dude, that's kind of dickish for you to say, because it is. And he's like, responds to all of them. He's like, he's just not funny, man. It's just cringy and it's not funny. And then he deletes his comment because he's getting so much hate, leaves another comment, another paragraph telling me how not funny I am, and then I don't respond to that. So he sends me a message on Instagram and is like, hey, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I want you to know I love all of your content. I love it all so much. You're just not funny. Your comedy sucks, man. Your comedy sucks. Okay, you're really passionate about telling me that I'm not funny. Maybe we just don't meet on a comedic level. There's people who don't think Louis C.K.'s funny, and he's arguably one of the funniest people on the planet. I say arguably because not everyone has the same opinion. This kid's telling me I'm not funny like it's a fact. Like, fuck that guy, right? fuck that kid. I'm gonna make a second channel if I want to. Right now, I don't have a name for it yet. So actually, if you have any suggestions for a name, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. It'd be awesome to see that you guys actually made it to this point in the video, because this video is already way longer than I expected it to be. What it's going to be is like reaction videos, not reaction videos like Jinx Reload. I wouldn't say like H3 either, but just responding to videos that I think need to be responded to, that I'd like to voice an opinion on. That's where my From John with Love series is gonna have its reboot. I'm gonna be putting some daily vlogs, not daily, but vlogs on there as well. Whenever I do something cool, like when Lana and I wanna go hiking or wanna take a spontaneous road trip, or me and some of the homies wanna do either of those things as well, that's gonna be where it's gonna that stuff's going to be posted. And if you're interested, I am going to make another announcement video when I actually make the channel, but I'm not going to do that at least for another month or so, not until I get the uploading schedule on this channel worked out. And also, by making that second channel, don't worry, the content on here isn't going to just decrease exponentially, because unlike this, like those videos probably aren't going to require as much work and research and editing, gathering pictures, stuff like that. So it'll probably be a little bit easier to do. And then I want to move on to like my final point. What's my final point that I want to talk about? Pretty much just equipment stuff, I guess. I've been getting a couple of equipment upgrades, like this Blue Yeti microphone, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, that was unnecessary. Man, there's so many ums in this video. I'm so sorry. In addition to that, I actually just ordered a brand new iMac yesterday, and I don't want to go on a rant about how horrible the editing on this computer has been, but my uploading schedule is also going to improve just with this new computer, because my MacBook, for whatever reason, despite it only being a couple of years old, like I can record this video on the webcam just fine, but turning on iMovie for like 30 seconds puts the fan into overdrive mode. Some of you guys know my boy KMACK Time. He has a MacBook that's older than mine and has less issues. We live streamed on his thing, did a webcam and all that stuff for hours and hours, and fan like hardly even started up. Mine, put on iMovie, starts up in 30 seconds, and I wish I was exaggerating. So that will be cool. I'll have like some more reliable equipment that I'm not afraid is just going to spontaneously burst into flames. And also, I'm getting Final Cut. I didn't get it on this computer because if it can't run iMovie, I'm going to assume it can't run Final Cut. But I'm going to get Final Cut, which is going to make editing a whole lot easier after I learn the ropes of it. Yeah, a lot of good things are going to be coming to the channel. I'm really, really excited about it. A lot of good things. Two more tiny little points that don't really require elaboration. I'm going to be streaming a lot more often in the coming weeks and afterward. I've got internet, I've got my Elgato, I've got pretty much everything that I need to live stream some video games. Lana and I are going to finish live streaming our building of the Lego Millennium Falcon, which has taken surprisingly forever. And if you guys respond to the gaming content really well, a lot of you like watching me on Twitch or whatever, then we'll see about maybe starting up a gaming channel that has a lot more heart put into it than Gamergasm. Actually, that was my last point. Now that I'm thinking about it, I thought I had another one, but looking at the list, do not. So I just want to say before you guys go, especially to anyone who has made it to this point in the video, if you've made it to this point, I want you to, and you'll see in just a sec, I want to tell you guys I love you. I love every single one of you more than any of you could possibly know. It's really cliche for YouTubers to say that. There's YouTubers like T. Martin who are pieces of shit and scam their subscribers, the people who they love. And some people say it's manipulative, but I really, really mean it when I say I love you guys from the absolute bottom of my heart, and I appreciate every single ounce of support that you have given me over the years. And without you guys, I would not have grown to the size that I currently am, and I wouldn't keep growing like I am. Yeah, if you made it to this point, comment saying I love you too. Say I love you too somewhere in your comment. And if you comment with that, as long as it's like within a week of this video, I will respond to it. I'll respond to it. And yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. I'm actually thinking about going and getting my hair cut. By going to get my hair cut, I mean going to my bathroom and cutting my own hair, because I've been feeling kind of compelled to do that lately. I think I'm gonna go do it right now. This is the type of stuff that you would see on my second channel when I make it. You will see on my second channel when I make it. There'll be a video titled cutting my own hair. And it'll be a nice, beautiful thumbnail that shows me cutting my own hair. I'm just going to kind of buzz the sides, get a little bit more of a punk rock look type going. The guy from Last of Us, I'll put a picture of him right here. Something like that, sort of. I think that is what I'm going to go do now. I'll be seeing you guys in a couple of days with a fresh new look and either a Pixar or Star Wars theory. I'm thinking Star Wars theory because I've got a couple in the back stock, but I'm not totally positive yet. I'll let you guys know if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter. I'll be posting it on there. I don't want to sound redundant, but thank you guys again so much for everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I love you so much. And remember, John shot first.